Hello.
Hello.
We are
Hello.
so many friends here today. Hi guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Pretty good. Nice to be here.
Doing pretty good.
Good. Hello chat. So welcome to the show. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it is. In case it is your first time here, this is BloqTalk. I am your host, Ashley Riot. I am joined with my co-host, who is actually a co-host and guest this time, Klouder.
Hello.
I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then they'll tell you a little bit about themselves as well. So I'm Ashley Riot. I am a streamer here on Twitch. I mainly play Beat Saber, but I play all sorts of games. Also, if anything with the audio needs to be changed, please let me know. Thank you very much. Oh, I fixed my notifications too. Cool. So I did so much work today. So yeah, I play all sorts of games here on Twitch. So I'm joined with Klouder, and this week we are with the BSMG staff. So this show is actually brought to you in part by BSMG. They are a huge community here on Discord, but they have a presence elsewhere and they do a bunch of cool stuff. So we're going to be talking to them, and I'll let them all introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they do. So Klouder, we'll start with you.
Right. Hi, I'm Klouder. I'm co-host. I am a variety streamer. I draw, and I am staff on BSMG.
Very cool. And then Assistant is our first guest. Tell us a little bit about you, Assistant. Where are you from? What do you do in your spare time? Are you a student? Things like that. Whatever you feel comfortable with sharing, of course.
Okay, I'm Assistant. I'm currently in the US and I'm a student. I do computer stuff for fun.
And when you say computer stuff, what do you mean by that?
Ranges from doing server stuff, building computers, playing around with them.
The usual. Cool, and we're going to get into that a little bit later too, kind of like what you do in BSMG, kind of how you got involved and got started with that. So, then we also have Megalon. We are joined with Megalon. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Megalon.
Hello. My name is Megalon, and I'm one of the admins in BSMG. I like to program, and I like to draw, and outside of playing Beat Saber, I stream as well.
Lots of ASMR stream. I remember when I actually got to meet some of these guys in real life. We were at Anime Expo together, which we're going to talk a little bit about as well. We have a lot of stuff that we can talk about tonight. And I met Megalon, and there was people everywhere, and I was not of the soundest of mind at the time. And he was like, "You have to know me," and it was very loud, and I should have known him by the voice, but I couldn't put it together, and it will haunt me for the rest of my days.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were just surprised to see me in person. I don't think anybody really recognized me at first until I started talking. Yes.
Even after
I
you
almost
talked, I was
recognized you.
struggling because it was so loud, and yeah.
Yeah.
And then also we are joined by Reaxt. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Reaxt, Chadbeard, yes.
Hello, I'm Reaxt. I play rhythm games, I make games sometimes, and I'm the owner of BSMG.
Oh, very cool. That was going to be one of my questions that was like kind of in my side notes, was who's the owner and which we'll talk about all that good stuff, but cool. Reaxt is the actual owner of the BSMG.
Yeah.
And then we have Steven.
I'm Steven. I'm the newest staff member at BSMG, and I do some modding stuff and stuff with Model Saber, and just kind of hang out with everyone.
Very cool. Yes. I've seen you in stream a couple of times, Mayan and Clouders, and both kind of just all around. So welcome. And then last but not least, we have Williams. Hello, Williams. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm Williams. I'm one of the staff in the BSMG. I like to stream Beat Saber, but I also really enjoy Monster Hunter when I'm not playing Beat Saber.
And Williams was like, I actually recognized you when I met you at AX. I actually knew who you were. So, very cool. So welcome, guys. We're just going to hang out and talk about Beat Saber and life and modding and what it is like running a Discord the size of BSMG and kind of all the side projects and just all that cool nerd stuff. Yes?
I
Yes.
like this chat.
Sounds good.
I don't
chat?
like the chat.
I like this chat.
Williams over here getting bullied.
Wait,
Not
are we-
bullying if it's in good heart.
I'm
I
sorry,
hate you
Williams.
all.
Is the chat saying William Gay?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
I thought we were talking about a different William and I was excited.
No.
I was like, I am also gay.
Bun bun die.
But yeah, okay.
Cool. So some of you guys mentioned this already when you were introducing yourselves, that you do play some other rhythm games. So aside from Beat Saber, which I'm assuming we all play, any objections? We all play Beat Saber. Aside from that, what other rhythm games do we play? Did you play anything before, Assistant?
Not really. I'm actually, ironically, not a music game kind of person.
We've had a couple of that. I mean, it's not completely unheard of. What about musical instruments? Did you play anything before you started playing Beat Saber?
I used to play guitar until my teacher told me I should quit.
Wait, what? Who told you that?
It's a great
Yeah.
Your
He
teacher?
was just like, yeah, he was like, you're bad, give up.
Steve.
Oh no!
Steve.
Wow.
That's horrible.
Were you
It
bad?
was kind of horrible. I was bad.
It sucks.
Hey, that's my line.
Oh.
My line now, Monka J.
All right. Well,
J.
so absolutely no rhythm game experience whatsoever, and a little bit of guitar, but not the best. What about you, Michael? Any other rhythm games before Beat Saber?
Yeah, so I played piano a little bit, I played guitar a little bit, and I spent a lot of time making music, like on the computer, growing up. But rhythm games, not really. I played Guitar Hero like at friends' houses, but I wasn't really into it. I'm not very good at OS. I've tried it a few times. I just couldn't get into it. So
Did you try
Beat Saber
it
is-
after Beat Saber or before?
I think that was after Beat Saber, because I was interested, you know, because Beat Saber got me, you know, really excited about rhythm games. So-
Definitely.
I'm not that good, although pretty good at Muse Dash. Not terrible. I like that game.
I really need to try that. I've been like meaning. I've seen a lot of people playing it.
It's really good. Yeah, you should do it. Oh, I like Thumper a lot. I see you actually have it here on your Steam wishlist. That is a cool game.
Very good game.
I wish
Yeah, I
Thumper
was
had
looking-
customs, but it does not.
If you want a thing to be, make that thing. That's kind of been
That's
like the theme of a lot of the most recent BloqTalks. Last week we were talking to Cube community staff, so we had like Amanatsu and Pug and Stannis were all here talking and just like talking about like making Cube community. It was basically just like there was a gap and we wanted this thing to exist, and I think that's kind of like what happened with BSMG as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It was like, if you want a thing to be, just like make that thing happen.
Yeah.
See, I want to play Thumper. Well, I mean, obviously
Do
on my
it.
wish list, but yeah. I am very poor. I sent out a snap this morning that was just like what I'm eating. It's just like all I have is bananas. That's like my budget for my food right now because of Anime Expo. I'll buy it soon. Okay, who else? React. Any other rhythm game experience?
The list is too long.
So before Beat Saber, did you play a lot, or is it post Beat Saber?
Before Beat Saber, I only ever played Guitar Hero, DDR, and Osu. But after Beat Saber, I met some people that got me introduced to some other games, and then from there, the list goes very long. I've played tons of Bamani games and tons of Western games. Mustache is good. Rayark games. I like rhythm games a lot. So I
That's
play
sick. So what do you play? Or what are you playing right now? What's your current?
like my main game.
Yeah. Well, your
The main
main
game I-
rhythm game.
Yeah, the main rhythm game I'm playing right now is 2DX. Very fun. It's like Osumania, but 7 keys and a turntable.
Sick. That sounds awesome. See, I played like before Beat Saber. My list is very similar to yours, and where it was mainly DDR and Guitar Hero. I didn't really play Osu or Us or until I played Beat Saber. I'd actually never heard of it, if I'm being honest. What about you, Steven? Rhythm games, music experience?
Not really. I played guitar for a bit, but kind of dropped that. And I played OS like twice, and that didn't really work out. And I've played Dance Rush with Squeaksies once, and that's about.
Dance Rush is a god tier game.
It really is.
I think I saw that. Did they have that at round 1? Is that where you played it?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
exactly where I played it.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
have it.
It looked sick. And it's interesting because we don't have a lot of musical instrument experience here in this group, but we have Freak in the chat who has been a guest on BloqTalk before, who plays like who's like a savant, plays like every single instrument that exists. It's nuts. Last but not least, what about you, Williams? Any other rhythm games before Beat Saber, post Beat Saber?
Before Beat Saber, I didn't really play rhythm games. I gave OS a try a few times, but I'm a bit of a rager, and OS made me really angry. So
Really?
I couldn't play OS. I did play piano for like 7-8 years, but I fell out of that after I went into post-secondary, and I just didn't really play piano anymore. You think like 8 years of piano would have given me a sense of rhythm, but it didn't. But after Beat Saber, Reaxt introduced me to a ton of rhythm games. I really enjoy Muse Dash. I really enjoy Muse Dash. One that I really like that I have no access to, it's Dance Rush Stardom. I honestly want to fly to America just to play that game. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it looks sick. I'm actually really sad that I didn't play it, but I'm gonna be in the States soon. So maybe like at TwitchCon we'll do like a round 1 trip or something and play some rhythm games, because that's what everybody was doing. It also seemed like the best deal, like for your money.
Oh yeah, we went like 3 days in a row. It was so much fun.
I could only go one time because I'm like very scared of cars, and it was like a 30-minute car drive. It was very stressful.
Oh yeah.
But I made it. I did it one time.
Well, glad you checked it out.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let's see. What else? Okay, so that's everybody. There's a lot of us today, chat. So it's going to take a long time to get through questions. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm so sorry, B. Okay, so I'm sitting next to B in the car ride on the way to round 1. And I'm, like, holding his thigh, I think. And I have long, sharp nails. And B is like, do you want to hold my hand? Because I think I was drawing blood from his thigh. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
Oh no, B.
It was I felt very bad. I was crying, but I did it. It was very fun. Smile. Okay.
LA
The car ride wasn't, I imagine. The rest was.
Yeah, the
LA
arcade
driving
was
is
sick.
Something else.
Well, and it was late too, so like there were cars on the road, but they were still going really fast. Which, I mean, I guess it didn't matter what time of day it was. Like, that was the case no matter what. Man, fuck driving in LA. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Me
Did
and
you
Megalon have
experience the bump of death near your house?
Oh my god. The
Oh yeah.
vertical incline near
It's
the
like a
ash
roller
house.
coaster. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was like, how is that even legal? It was
We
like
got
this.
air. I swear, we were in our Uber.
We
and
did get air.
We stopped talking because we got air, and we're like, "Did that just happen?"
It was horrifying. It was literally like a 60-degree, like it was so bad. So yeah, I didn't go very many places unless I absolutely had to. I stayed at the Ash House, which I never named my house, but I really like that it became the Ash House.
It's a fitting name.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a lot of fun. B, I still think that you should come to TwitchCon. I have a spot for you in the house already.
Can we talk about how good looking B is?
Yes, we can.
B,
Oh,
actual
B's hella
hottie.
cute.
Would you guys like to hear a story about how Ploopy trolled me? So Ploopy sent out this Snapchat that was like, he's single, ladies, and it was B looking very cute, making faces, and so I was like, well, he's hot, right? So I'm like, kind of crushing on B a little bit, and I tell him that, and then I find out like he is not single, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like,
Nice. Go.
I wouldn't have said any of that to you if I did the. That's so rude. But yeah, thank you, Ploopy. I appreciate it. It was very awkward.
Twitch.tv/Ploopy.
Twitch.tv/Ploopy.
Hey.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey. Ploopy, who fed all of us, by the way, shout out to him for cooking for like 2 hours straight.
Oh, right. He cooked at the barbecue. I totally forgot. I'm like, when did he cook? I swear I cooked for him. I forgot about the barbecue.
Yep, he cooked like a bunch of hot dogs and hamburgers. I think there was like 40 people at that. There was over 40 people there, I think.
There were a lot of people.
And that, by the way, that guy that I got the Airbnb from left a review for me, and it said that I was a joy to host and he would love to have me again. So clearly we were fine.
Wait, I wonder what our host said about us.
You should look and see. You should see.
At Logan.
Yeah,
Logan's
at Logan.
banned from Airbnb now.
At Logan Ben. You're not coming back.
Did anybody throw up in a bed at your house?
Surprisingly, the only person that threw up
Oh,
was
no.
from your house.
I understand.
Oh wait, no, and Cora. But
Okay, that's not what I
we
meant,
thought the
B. I was
original
just wondering, because that's kind of like the, you know... We didn't have a plunger. We had to buy a plunger for our house as well.
Uh-oh.
Also, so what we're talking about is a bunch of us were at Anime Expo, which is kind of why I wanted to do this series of BloqTalk and kind of talk about community. Because I think that VR is so much more than just playing games online. Do you know what I mean? I think that it is such a huge community. We've talked a little bit. We also, prior to Cube Community and talking about their tournament, we had Pesky and Proper on here talking about competitive VR esports, because I met both of them at the VR World Finals in Leicester, where they were competing in Space Junkies. So just, I think that the VR community and the opportunities and the competitive scene and all of that like is growing super, super fast, and I want to talk about all that stuff. And a really good example of that is we all got to hang out and meet at Anime Expo. So that's what we're talking about right now, but we will talk a little bit more about Beat Saber and BSMG, which is where all these guys are from. So tell us how you got into Beat Saber. Have you been here like kind of from the launch of the game? Did you have VR way before it? Did you get VR for Beat Saber, etc., etc.? We'll start with you, assistant.
Well, my story is kind of funny. I got VR because I really needed to get rid of the money I had. So I just bought it and had no idea what to do
What do you
with
mean? What do you mean by that? Like, was somebody coming
I had
to
Bitcoin,
see how much money you
and
had?
it
Oh,
was
okay.
right at the peak of the 20K. So I had to spend it all because it was going to be worthless in a month.
I understand. Okay, that's wholesome. That's like the most wholesome reason I can think of to like need to spend your money.
So I bought VR and I'm like, so now what do I do with it? And I was in the States at the time, and then I had to go back to Bolivia. So I left the VR there and I couldn't use it or anything. And while I was in Bolivia,
This is wild.
I saw like a GIF in Imager of Beat Saber, and I was like, instantly fell in love with it. I was like, this is what I'm doing with VR.
This is a wild story. So, assistant had to use his Bitcoin at the height of its worth on the internet, purchased VR, which he then had to leave in Bolivia.
No, I left it in the States.
Oh, you had to go back to Bolivia, so you left it in the
Yeah.
States. I understand.
Where's the headset now?
Yeah.
Now it's in Bolivia, ironically.
Wait.
Is it the same headset?
Yeah. After that, I came back to the States. I enjoyed VR. I did all my stuff, and then I had to go back to Bolivia. But this time, my mom was with me, and she loved VR, so she insisted that I brought it to Bolivia.
That's
You brought it back to
awesome.
the States?
What did your mom play?
She played a little bit of VR chat. I got her to
amazing.
puke on the roller coasters.
Like peek in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
But yeah, now I'm in the States and the VR is in Bolivia.
Oh, so now, okay, got it. So now the VR is there, and you left and came back to the States, and she was like, nah, I need VR chat. You have to leave the VR here. And so you're in the States and you have no VR.
Yeah, that's why I bought a Quest.
Oh, how do you like the Quest?
It's actually way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's sick, right? I really like mine. I think it's awesome, and I think that what it's going to do for kind of VR and like opening up and becoming a system, a standalone system, is so important.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. Cool. What about you, Clouder? I think we've talked about this before, but when did you get into Beat Saber?
Yeah, basically my brother Kyle had VR a little bit previously, and he's the one who introduced me to Beat Saber. There's not much to it.
Very cool. And so you guys know Klouder. I mean, not Klouder, Kyle. You guys know Klouder as well. But Kyle is also a modder and a community member, kind of been around from the start. So was that at the start of Beat Saber, or had he been playing for a little while? Before he introduced you, Klouder.
It was like right at the start.
So you've been playing since the start as well. What about you, Megalon? Have you been playing since the start? How did you get into it?
Yeah, I bought VR maybe like 4 months before learning about Beat Saber. But I had been following VR basically since the original Oculus Kickstarter, but I couldn't afford it at the time, so it wasn't until much later that I was able to finally get a Vive. And I was like playing Gorn mostly, didn't really play VR chat or anything like that. And then when I first saw the video for Beat Saber, like the trailer, I actually didn't think that it interested me because at the time, like I don't think I had played with VR yet, so like I didn't understand it. And then once I got my headset, then I was like, what about that Beat Saber game? You know, when's that coming out? And then when it came out, I bought it on the first day. And then, you know, from there, just wanted to keep playing it. It was so fun. It's still my favorite VR game that I've played.
Yeah, I was actually talking about this yesterday on stream because somebody on Twitter had mentioned like getting bored of the game and wondering what people do, and I'm just like, man, I play so much, but like I love the game so much. I have so much fun when I play it just because like I love music so much, and I feel like it's affected how I look at music and even how I experience music, and just it's such a good game. But I'm excited to kind of see what the future holds for VR. Let's see. What else? React. So I assume that React, you've been around since the get-go, since you were the owner of BSMG?
Well, yes, but I am the owner, but I'm also not the creator of the Discord.
Ah.
There's a bit of a story behind that. I can
Stole it
explain
from
that now.
Megalon.
Yeah,
We'll get to that a little bit later, because we're gonna
Alright.
go over the lore of the BSMG, the origin stories.
Official lore.
Yeah, exactly.
Official lore. Anyways, with VR, I've been following it since the DK1 for the Oculus. When I was a small child, I begged my parents for one and messed around with tech demos and all kinds of fancy stuff we had with that. Then I just kept using that headset for years, even after the Vive and the Oculus came out. And then I think 2 years ago now, when the headset came out, well, not the headset came out, but 2 years ago now, I picked up the Oculus, the CV1, and then used it from there. And then just normal VR stuff. But when the video, the teaser for Beat Saber blew up everywhere on like Twitter and YouTube, I instantly stocked everything that Split had and learned everything that was out about the game at the time, and then waited for the game to come out on day one and then bought it and played it. And that's how I got into Beat Saber.
Man, see, I feel like really late to the party in this group because I kind of showed up a couple of months later, which at this point is becoming kind of still pretty OG because the game has been out for, a year and some months now. Steven, what about you? When did you get into Beat Saber? Where did you hear about it?
I bought a Vive like 2 years before the game came out, I think, and I played a lot of like Space Pirate Trainer and Gorn and stuff. But by the time Beat Saber came out, I'd gotten kind of bored of everything else, and I saw the trailer on Twitter, and I thought it looked kind of cool, but I wasn't really into rhythm games, so it didn't really seem like something I'd like. So I didn't buy it until like a month after it came out, and then I just kind of fell in love with it and found the BSMG, and now we're here.
Yeah, see, I had VR for a really long time as well. But I had purchased it, ironically enough, for horror games, which I don't know if you guys have ever seen me play horror games, but it is a travesty. I'm so bad at them, and I'm so bad at them in VR, I literally can't play them. So I ended up getting really into, like, shooters, so, like, Raw Data and Super Hot and things like that. And then all that stuff happened with my spine, so I couldn't really play VR for, like, 10 months or something. And my VR just kind of sat there until after my surgery. And last but not least, Williams, have you been playing since launch?
I have. I got VR a couple months before Beat Saber came out, but it was initially to try out other games. I actually bought my Oculus used off Kijiji. I found a really good deal. But when I was living at my parents' house, I didn't have a lot of room to play, so I just never really touched VR. Conveniently, like a month after I moved out, Beat Saber came out, and I remember seeing this game like a couple months back in January when the first teaser blew up. I remember seeing it, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I saw music, I saw lightsabers, I saw VR, and I lost my shit. I got so excited. I followed it really closely for a little bit, but then when I was moving out and everything, I got really busy and I forgot. I saw that it came out a few days after it actually did, and I'm like, oh, I should probably check out this game. So I picked up Beat Saber. I played just the original maps for a few days, and I saw on YouTube that they were starting to make custom songs. So I'm like, wow, I should really try that out. And I ended up at the BSMG.
Right away from the start. Do you guys remember? Okay, here's a good question that I'm always interested to know the answer to. Do you remember if you stabbed the dot notes at first?
Yes.
Williams, is it immediate yes? Anybody else?
I don't remember.
Kyle, so I learned.
So you knew not to?
I'm gonna say I think I tried it to see if it would work. So yes.
Yeah.
I think I did as well. I'm pretty sure I stabbed them.
I stabbed the note, and the tutorial voice told me to slash the block in any direction. I'm like, oh, now you tell me. Now I feel dumb.
Yeah, I played the tutorial, so I never stabbed them.
See, when I show the game to people... Go ahead.
I kind of knew how to play because I got pretty late into the game. Like, I was following it before it came out, but I was kind of poor when it came out, so I couldn't buy it. So it was like, do I buy food or do I buy this game? Eventually, I bought the game because it was more important than food.
I understand completely as I look at my banana pile. Yeah, I remember when I show people the game too, it's like 50-50 whether or not they try and stab the notes or whether or not they slice it. But I love showing people the game for the first time. Or really showing them VR for the first time. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, like throw a VR
the
party.
reactions you get are great.
Oh, it's awesome, right? Like, when even just like when they look around and they just are in another world. It's so good.
It's awesome. That was one of my favorite things when I first got my both of my headsets when I first got them. The best thing was less using it and more showing other people the headset.
My
Showing
favorite
people the
part-
headset is always a ton of fun.
It's fun to see. Like
my
some
fa-
people hate it, and other people adore it.
I usually start with like the plank experience. If they've never played VR at all or anything like that, just to kind of show them the immersion level.
Why do you do that to them?
I'm not aware of the Plank experience. What is it?
It's super simple. It's like an elevator, and then you push a button. Thank you so much for gifting 5 gift subs. You push a button, and then you go up, and then the elevator opens, and it's just a plank. And you walk out onto the plank, and it's, you know, above the city, and it feels like you're gonna fall. And it's very simple, but it's very immersive. And if you've never been in VR, it's kind of mind-blowing.
That sounds terrifying.
Why do you do that to people on their first time?
I showed them the like Oculus demo thing where you play with the little
Yeah.
robot.
That one's fun. Everyone enjoys that one.
I like showing them roller coasters.
That's
God.
That's a rough one. Or the first party I had, we did Paranormal Activity with like a bunch of my girlfriends from work, and it was just screaming for like 4 hours. I know my neighbors thought I was like killing people because it's just like shrill murder screams for hours. Have you guys ever played Paranormal? It's a lot of fun, but it's horrifying.
I don't do horror games.
Yeah, it's...
I'm not so good with that stuff.
Alright, are you guys able to do them?
No.
I haven't tried it. I
You
might.
should try.
I'm still waiting to find a good one. I don't know what's a good and bad game.
Yeah, Paranormal's okay. Like, it's not... There's not a lot to it, but it's definitely scary. I was watching B play something space related, but I don't think it's native to VR.
Space horror. Oh, was it Alien Isolation?
Isolation, yeah, but I don't think it's not VR native, right? So it could be scuffed. Same with The Forest, also could be scuffed. Right here is scuffed, but it's supposed to be fun. Okay,
I'll probably try that. I really like Alien Isolation.
Did you play it on PC,
Yeah.
or have you played it in VR at all?
I just played it on PC. I haven't played it in VR yet.
It's horrifying on PC because the alien is a very smart AI, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I played it in VR for like 5 minutes because the alien was bigger than I am, and it's terrifying.
React, you feel threatened by other smart AI?
I do. There can't be multiple.
There can be only one. We played a Paranormal Activity at TwitchCon last year, and we were streaming it, and we were on cam, and I put the headset on and I played for about 2 minutes, I think, and then I saw my own hand in the corner of my eye, and it like scared me, and I screamed, and I like fell on the floor, and I crawled into a ball, and I couldn't move, and that was it. And it was like 2 minutes, I think, is how long I lasted. So I'm not very good at them.
I'd probably be yelling the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
That's my experience with horror games.
I literally just scream the whole freaking time. Okay, yeah. So you guys have been playing Beat Saber forever. That's what it comes down to. Do you guys all still play? Are you all still active?
I still play.
It's been
Yeah, I
a
still
few
play.
months.
Clouder's
I-
not so active.
It's been a couple months since I played
This is in a
seriously
different-
as well.
Country from assistant, so been a couple of months for you. React, do you say you still play?
Sometimes I play pretty inconsistently. There was a long period I went off for recently, and I was hanging out with a friend and said, "Hey, what's your Score Saber profile?" And I thought I was banned because I was ranked 0, but it just turned out that I hadn't played the game in so long. My account got deleted for being inactive.
I just
got
recently
archived.
saw that happen. Yeah.
Well, archived anyways. So that was fun. But after that, I've been playing a little bit more consistently. I've played a few times every week now.
Yeah, that's basically what I do too. A couple times a week.
Is it because you like the game, or do you feel like some sort of requirement to play? Like, what are you playing once a week for? Do you miss it and you just want to play, or?
I'm playing because I want to beat Nuclear Star. That's my goal.
It's respectable.
It's a
I
good
still
goal.
play. I still play because I want to keep improving. I don't know. I like the progress of beating my own scores, beating maps that I couldn't do before, and I'm still constantly improving. Or maybe I'd hit a wall every so often, but I just really like the progression and how satisfying it is to see yourself get better at this game.
We just got a bigly raid from Puds.
Ooh, Puds!
With 20 raiders. Hello, raiders. We're here. This is a BloqTalk. If you've never been here before, we're talking with the BSMG staff, with Williams, Steven the Cat, Megalon, Klouder, who is my co-host but is double duty today. She's a guest as well because she's BSMG staff, Reaxt, and assistant. Talking about all sorts of stuff. Thank you so much. For the raid, thank you for the resub. So we're talking about Beat Saber right now, but we were just about to move on to the origin story of BSMG, the lore, the official lore. Where did it start? What exactly is BSMG? Where did it start? The creator, the owner, the origin story. Who wants to take that question?
Can I do it?
Yeah, React, go for it.
Thank you. I love this story so much.
Oh God,
So-
I'm very excited. Okay, let me get my tea and.
It's not too complicated. It's just very fun for me to tell.
Perfect.
So it started with Megalon. I don't know what led him to it, but he messed around with the game files a little bit and had made the first mod for the game. Megalon made the first mod where he took one of the charts of the game and kind of sped it up by what was the amount you sped it up by?
I think it was like 400% speed. I just multiplied the BPM, and then that turned out to actually work.
I made all of them come real fast at him. Now, unbeknownst to this at the time, I think it was 1 day or 2 days after the game came out, I played a ton of songs. I think I cleared them all, and I was thinking, I want to play a Carpenter Brute song in this. So I looked up how to mod Unity games and found some really weird guides for, I think it was Dead by Daylight, maybe. Anyways, I went through it and I ended up making a asset replacement mod. So whereas nowadays it's all through plugins and stuff like that, at this time it was just you actually have to change the files in your game for the mod to work. And it was the first custom song. And after I did that, I looked up on YouTube Beat Saber mods, and I found Megalon's video. We talked a little bit in the comments for a bit, and a random guy who I still have not found today, and I don't think he ever joined, suggested that we make a Discord to talk about modding the game and stuff like that. So Megalon made one, and while we were setting up, I said, hey, I have a lot of experience with Discord. You want me to set it up? And I don't think either of us envisioned how big it would get, but then he transferred ownership of the server to me, and then that's how the server was made. It was just a general chat and a channel with current information at the time. That was it.
And the game came out on the 1st, and the server was created on... Was it 3 days later, or was it on the 3rd?
Let's see. I think I have the very first message.
It was on the 3rd.
Yeah, it was on the 3rd. On the 3rd, Megalon was already working on an editor, I think, at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, the 2D editor. I started that almost right away.
Yeah. Anyways, it was so I think the videos were on the 2nd. So the game came out the 1st, the videos were on the 2nd, and the Discord was on the 3rd.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If you want a thing to exist, so BSMG, which now, so that was on the 3rd of May, I think is when Beat Saber was released. So over a year ago.
It was released on the 1st of May, wasn't it?
Right. So I just meant like that month. It was the 1st, and then it was the 3rd that you guys started, and then how many people are in the Discord server now?
Oh.
198,614.
Jesus Christ.
198,000. So like that's obviously I think so like this is a huge deal. I actually very recently went to go see like the largest Discord servers that exist, right? Because we were very recently talking about kind of some of the challenges of having a Discord server that large, and then we were talking about having you guys on the show, and so I was just doing some research. Yeah, almost 200,000 people, and some of the largest Discord servers in the world are only like, I say only about, but like only 250,000. And I say only because that's only like 50,000 more than how many you guys have, which is just nuts. So it's very much the largest, I think, Beat Saber community. I would go so far as to say it's the largest like VR Discord community that exists, you know, like even if you combined all the other ones, I would say it's huge, right? So let's talk about that. What are some of the challenges involved in running a Discord server that size?
Discord
Where do we
doesn't like
start?
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Start with
Everything.
Start with the things that just inherently don't work with Discord when you have that many people.
Moderation.
The user list.
User
Yeah, the
God.
user list
User
is
list.
Everyone.
server
Like,
announcements.
When I open
doesn't
my
matter.
user list, is Discord gonna crash?
Discord really likes to yell at you for having too many channels or too many roles, and we need to bump down on everything.
It's not really they're yelling at us.
And when
it's
you
more
say
that-
Discord likes to yell at you, she doesn't mean that she gets an error message or it crashes on her computer. She means that Discord, people that work for Discord, the company, contact them and yell at them and say that you have too many channels. So that's what you mean, correct? Like it's not like
yeah,
your
it's not
computer's
Discord crashing, though my Discord has crashed many times.
Yeah.
We have so much, like, I guess there's so many resources being used for our server that, you know, when you accidentally at
Listen.
everybody, you might take down a couple of Discord's actual
Just
servers.
a couple.
Yeah.
Knock out like a couple dozen or 100
So-
other Discord
DDoS
servers.
servers.
Listen,
Yes.
at the time, Discord
have
already
protocol.
wasn't doing the best. Okay, in my defense, and I think we
Yeah.
just kind of pushed it over the
Don't
cliff.
put this on them.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But normally
I'm sorry.
we have a lot of protocols set up. Like if we do need to make an announcement like that, lock down all the channels, global slow mode.
Slow-mo was a
Um,
godsend.
Yeah,
It really
slow-mo
is.
we absolutely needed slow mode. You have to disable all reactions because funny enough, people spamming isn't what takes down a Discord server. It's people using reactions on an announcement. There are tons of little things you have to watch out for and be aware of because every little action makes a big impact on such a big server.
And how many people do you guys have? So that's horrifying. And when you mention things like that, that's, you know, if people have the ability to do things like that, that's a lot of power. So how many people have that kind of power in your Discord? How many people make sure your Discord runs smoothly? How many moderators do you have? You know, give us some numbers for that type of thing.
We have three different like administrative roles. We have moderators, staff, and admin. The user list isn't going to cooperate, I don't think. So, Williams, you opened the user list. Did it end up loading?
And this is one of those problems that a couple of you guys mentioned with having a
what did you say?
200,000 person Discord.
You opened the user list. Did it end up finish loading? Or
Oh, mine is actually loading for once. I think they must have changed how it works because it's actually loading properly. But I've loaded up to 53,000 now. It's still going up.
Yeah,
Mine's
it takes a while
see
to
it
load
load.
everybody.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention that Discord servers have a limited number of active connections that are allowed.
Oh,
So that's based on the number of people that are online at a time in your server. And if you go over, or if you reach that maximum, it will start dropping connections. Like people won't be able to connect. So the server will disappear from your servers list for a little while if it drops your connection, and then it'll come back later.
And then we need to yell at Discord staff to bring up our limit.
Yeah, so they've
We've had to
raised.
do it a few times.
Yeah, they've raised our limit a couple of times because we have so many members.
So for the earlier numbers, there's 2 admins, 9 staff, and then including staff, moderators, which are people that help keep chat in check, we have 12.
And then you also have a bunch of bots as well that help
There's one bot.
answer.
One
Oh,
bot.
just one.
CMB is
megabot.
What about me?
It's
And
shut up.
assistant.
You don't get rights.
we're the bots without rights. CMB has more rights than us.
He really
He's a
does.
good boy. He doesn't add everyone.
CMD
never
CMB does
gonna
so
win,
much
Tom.
heavy lifting in the Discord. Like it would be an absolute mess without it cleaning channels. Like
When he goes down, everyone goes in a panic.
And what is it? Sorry, what is it that you guys use? CMD, you said?
CMB, channel monitor bot.
Got it. Very cool. And that
He is
handles just a
Megalon's
bunch.
son.
Oh, so it's kind of it's
Yeah.
an in-house thing?
Yeah, Channel Monitor Bot is a bot that I originally created. It was supposed to just be like a stand-in until we had something better, but you know, as these things usually go, once you have something working, that kind of just becomes the thing that everybody relies on. And so, yeah. What's up, Reaxt?
Nothing.
Oh, so I made CMB originally, and then after a while it just got too big to manage, and then Lolpants took over and recreated it from scratch. And so it's a modular Discord bot. It's written in TypeScript, and Lolpants and I are the 2 developers that work on it. And it's like built from scratch because we just had like a specific set of things that we wanted it to do, and it seems to work pretty well for us. So I know a lot of people in big servers will just like combine several different Discord bots to use specific features from them, but we ended up not doing that. We just have one bot.
Yeah, I mean, I think I do that, and I'm a fraction of the size just because like I want to do one thing here, one thing there, and this bot only lets me do this, and cool. So we went a little bit out of order, but just because I wanted to talk about the actual size, it's something that I have thought about pretty frequently for a little while, just because it's something that I've actually talked about with you guys for various reasons, right? So I just think it's actually so cool, and not a lot of people get to talk about what it's like to run something where there's 200,000 people and where you can literally like bring down servers by accidentally adding everyone, and nobody will ever let you forget that. I'm really sorry for your loss. But yeah, we'll talk about kind of what BSMG does, what it actually is, what it's for, and kind of what you guys are associated with. So it stands for the Beat Saber modding group, for those of you that don't know. And it started off, as you were telling us a little bit earlier, just as a place to discuss modding and answer questions, which is kind of what its focus is now. But you can tell us a little bit about what else it does. So I know that like you've got some staff members in there that make official announcements or put their official announcements in there, kind of cross-post it, stuff like that. What else is BSMG for?
I guess we can start with the modding component of it. Beat Saber modding group kind of oversees the mods and the installers. We work with we do work with a group of modders to manage Beat mods, which is the central repository that all of the mods come from. Assistant is the developer of probably the most popular mod installer right now, Mod Assistant, and that gets its mods from Beat Mods, which is kind of the successor to Mod Saber. I'm not really going to go into that, but basically, modders submit their mods. We open them up, make sure they're not viruses or anything. inspect them, make sure they work. We test all the mods and make sure they don't break the other mods, because we had a lot of problems back in the day where you had one mod, somebody uploads another one, it's like, oh, this one's not compatible with this one, or that new version, you need to update this mod or it's going to break custom avatars, your saber is outdated.
Update custom sabers.dll.
Update custom sabers.dll. That's where I started, yelling at people to update their custom sabers. So we manage beat mods and approve and deny mods, and follow like the system, the approval system, to make sure this doesn't happen, and so that hopefully when people install their mods, they don't fight each other. Assistant, do you have anything to talk about mod assistant?
Well, I'm kind of surprised that I became the most popular mod installer because I don't know how to program.
I think you do a good enough job.
Did you just kind of learn because of this project, picking it up and becoming the person?
Yeah, basically I wanted something that was like the mod manager because I didn't really like beat drop. It's just, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, it's just not for me. I like something simple, and I did it. And it somehow people liked it.
Because it's simple and it works.
Yeah, Kyle said exactly that. It's simple, it works. I've kind of watched them grow over the months, right? Like the different installers, and then having to use IPA and all that stuff going back and forth, and I'm happy. I like it.
Happy.
Hi, Dad. I wish I could adjust the colors on the out-of-date mods because I'm a colorblind. I wish there was an option for that. Just because they look the same to me, so I have to like actually check the numbers. But other than that, it's easy peasy.
Oh, I could do that.
Wait, really? Sick.
One of the cool things about making your own tools is that you can change whatever you want.
Yeah. That's awesome. That'd be so sick. I'm so happy. Okay, cool. Ask and you shall receive. If you want something, make it a thing. So you guys do
Feature
mod
request.
installing. Yeah, feature request. You guys do mod installer and the repository. What else? What else do you guys do?
Big thing is support.
Oh, support.
I like these different
is,
reactions.
There's a machine that chews up people and leaves them dead inside.
Yes. So to elaborate, we have, well, now we have two support channels for PC mods and Quest mods. When it was a lot smaller, maybe like I'm talking a couple dozen thousands of people. People like me, Assistant, Steven, and Klouder, we all started as support. We would just go in for hours every day answering everybody's questions. This was before we kind of had macros to get the bot to spit out an answer, like a pre-typed answer. A lot of the stuff that came out of CMB was because we requested it, because we saw a need for that kind of functionality. This was before the wiki, which was also created because we were getting chewed up and spit out dead inside. But I got really active within the community because I saw Assistant just there for hours on end, just answering everybody's questions, fixing everybody's mods, and I went in to help them out. Steven, Kyle, and Klouder all kind of started out that way too. Kyle wasn't always a modder. He started out as support, and we just kept, I don't know about the others, but I just kept wanting to continue making things for the community because of support. I don't really go in there anymore because I'm dead inside. And I help maintain the wiki. And I've gone from like, organizing support to being more of like a overseer, like a manager of different people, like different supports, moderators. But we all kind of started helping people troubleshoot their mods.
Yeah, lots of troubleshooting for sure. And it is a very difficult job. It's like retail, but like worse, right? because
much worse.
Yeah. It is very
Retail
bad.
retail gives you money.
Yeah, at least you
True.
get paid in retail.
There's definitely an expiration date on being support.
Yeah, all the people in this chat that were support aren't really anymore.
Yeah.
We've burnt out.
It wears you down. I've
It only
avoided it
took me
after what
3
I've seen it
months of
does.
nonstop.
Well, plus you're doing a lot more of the management side of things as well too, and we've talked about that a little bit here. Is like, even if you're really involved, once you start managing things, you can't project manage and also do the project stuff. Like it's so difficult to do both. You don't have the time.
That's very true.
I mean, I have too much time.
No, don't tell them that. You're going to be back in support. Don't tell them.
It just makes you go insane after a while.
Do anything but support.
Yeah, a lot of people. There are
It's
a
got
lot of nice
depressing.
people, a lot of not so nice people that kind of burn you out faster. But you know, we have the wiki now. We have a lot of people helping each other out still. And I really like that. I like to see that the community is helping, still helping themselves out, even if there's not like that one person all the time answering questions, because there's just too many. 200,000 people, a lot of them have broken mods or can't figure it out, which is kind of why we wrote the wiki, so that we could teach people how to solve their own problems, write out a bunch of information, and have them go find it themselves.
Which is another thing that BSMG kind of encompasses is the wiki, which we do have a link to that as well in the command, but that is a super helpful tool if you guys have never been there before.
Yeah, so the BSMG wiki ideally would replace the support channel, but people still have questions that aren't covered on there, or some people need extra help. And since Beat Saber is so huge, we get a lot of people that have like language barrier issues, and they end up in support a lot. But I think I was just going to say that I think a lot of people aren't accustomed to using Discord in the way that we want them to try to use it. Like, go to the help channel and then search for your issue before asking, because we get a lot of duplicate questions in the support channel, and I think that a lot of people don't bother to try and search first to see if their question is there. So the wiki tries to cover a lot of those, but I think people manage to miss the links to the wiki anyway, and then end up in the support channel asking duplicate questions.
I also have a funny theory about that. I think when you give someone an answer, like, someone else forgets it. Because I've seen so many times.
Equivalent exchange.
Yeah,
so many times someone will go ask something, and you go give them the answer, and within 3 seconds someone else asks exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating when you help somebody with a question, or like the question right above somebody has their answer, and then they ask the question that was just answered because they don't read up.
I'm like, you want to look 3 messages up, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least, which is, it's mind-boggling to me because I'm so, like, it's so difficult for me to talk in public spaces like that I scroll and scroll and scroll, and I read the pinned messages, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be that guy.
That's what I do too, and
Yeah.
I don't understand how people are that guy.
It would just, it freaks me. It's so hard for me.
Yeah, that's...
Funnily enough, the reason I became support was because I didn't want to be that guy.
You just wanted to know.
I really wanted to ask something because Custom Avatars just came out with a new version that had full body support, and I wanted to know how to do it, but I didn't want to be that guy and ask about it. So I was like, okay, maybe if I answer a lot of people's questions, then I deserve to ask one. And then 6,000 messages later, I was like, okay, maybe I can ask now.
6,000. How many messages do you have in support?
I think he means like that he was like scrolling back and reading and like checking that it hadn't
sent messages.
Oh.
You have 18,000
Wow.
Wow.
I
That's
have
consistent.
28,000. I'm gonna say Steven probably has the most.
I really don't. I have like 14,000, I think.
Oh,
Who's
never
the
mind.
king
You have
of support
14,000.
right now?
I think Klouder was for a big while.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
Klouder was top
Queen of
dog for a long
everything.
time.
not
Klouder has
anymore.
19,000. Wow, really? Am I still the most active support?
Good job. It hasn't.
Why am I
updated
doing
yet.
this to myself?
You're the strongest
Never
of all of
mind.
us.
Why? But yeah.
I like to think
Kyle
that
with 23k, my goodness. Go ahead.
I like to think that for all of the duplicate questions that we get in support, there are hundreds of people who do read upwards in the chat and do go to the wiki and solve their own problems themselves. But we don't see those people, so we can't really know,
Oh, definitely.
right?
Yeah. And Mello's saying, on the other hand, it's also so satisfying when someone does come in and says, hey, they followed advice they saw when they were scrolling and they fixed it. So sometimes you do see
Yeah.
that, you know, they'll come in and they won't ask and they'll scroll through and they'll do it and they'll just let you know. And then there's the handful of people that do that, but they don't come back. Like me, right? Like, it's already so difficult for me to say anything. I'll scroll, I'll do it myself. And then I'm not going to say anything about it if I figure it out.
We're aware that you become really jaded because the only thing that you do see are the people that are like not reading, not following the instructions, but there are a lot of people that figure it out for themselves. And every so often you think back and like hope that you did help a lot of people that are silent about it. So it is nice to see those messages.
I have two friends in person who got into Beat Saber. Whenever the game updates, one of them just checks the wiki for how to update, and the other one messages me every time. So it's there is both sides.
You have both.
Wait, they message you every time they need to update Beat Saber?
Yeah, I'm hoping they're not watching this stream right now. But,
You heard it here first, folks. Message Reaxt.
no,
At React when you have problems.
That is so
My mom's
interesting. I just
at React.
1.3.
His DMs are open.
actually, my DMs are always open. Send me this dumbest stuff you can. Oh wait,
Oh
not
no,
this.
wait.
Oh my
Uh-oh.
goodness.
That was a mistake. Anyways,
Amelia, update. I need to message React every time there's a song pack
But
release.
Send Reacts at everyone.
Oh
Come
my
on.
god.
anyways, there is absolutely both sides. Like, some people just ask for help immediately, and some people will figure it out on themselves. I'd like to imagine people that figure it out on themselves are the silent majority.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think so.
I think that's fair, because I think that a lot of times people think that introverts and extroverts are always people that like to talk to other people, but a lot of times extroverts are also the people that in Discord will immediately just ask, and introverts are way more likely to go back and read through stuff, whereas extroverts just tend to ask stuff out loud. So I think that there are a lot of people that's just how they are, you know, when they're solving a problem, which is interesting to see. So that's another part of what BSMG does. There's also some things that you guys are associated with, or that you have a hand in, because again, humongous community they have underneath you. So things like tournaments, and competitions, things like that. So we very recently had a tournament hosted by the BSMG that is going to be a quarterly event. Let's talk a little bit about that. What was that called?
That was Summer Saber Stars.
The Triple S
The
tournament.
triple S, the one letter in the English alphabet that I can't say properly. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
And when are you guys said that this is going to be a recurring thing that BSMG is going to be hosting, correct?
Possibly.
Yeah, that's
Stay
the
tuned.
plan.
Or a
Stay
possible.
tuned.
And how did you guys like that? Was it fun? Did you enjoy hosting it? Was it more than you thought it would be? Tell us about it.
So I kind of took the head or the lead for this tournament, which I didn't actually sign up for. I knew we were going to do a tournament, but and I was going to help out, but at some point they're like, Williams, you are the head of the tournament now. I'm like, okay, this is my life now.
Congratulations.
And he did a good job.
You did a good job.
Yeah, we pulled through. It was a lot of work. Like, props to anybody who tries to make a tournament and makes it work. Props to the Cube community definitely paved the way for us. We learned a lot from what they did right the first time, as well as the Canadian tournament. Those were the two inspirations, or the two tournaments I took inspiration from the most, and took, okay, what did they do right? What can we improve on? What can we try differently for ourselves? It was a ton of fun doing the tournament, but definitely exhausting.
It's a lot of work, right? Like, people don't realize what goes into organizing that number of people, especially like the day of, you know, the coordinators and all that. Oh my goodness.
Even I didn't realize.
How many people did you guys have in this one? It was 64? Was it double elimination?
It was 64. With a lot of backups. We went through a lot of backups. So
I think we went through all the backups.
we didn't go through all of them, but we did go through like at least 10 or 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why that happens. I've found that with my event, like my little birthday thing that I threw, I used exactly how many backups I had for 32 people, which was interesting because it was like literally I used exactly, it was like eight people I had backups, and that's exactly how many people dropped. But yeah, maybe partially because of hardware. It can so many. I hear so many people break their Vives or their wrists like right before an event, and they have to drop.
Or their wrists.
Yeah.
Both equally important pieces of hardware in your life.
Correct,
Yeah,
for
you
Beat Saber
kinda need those.
particularly.
You'll need those. But yeah, tournaments are a ton of work, but I'm glad it went well. And props to Megalon too for manning the stream both days, like no breaks.
Yeah, that was rough. I was basically sitting there controlling the overlay the whole time. Like, you know, other people could swap out casting and coordinating and stuff, but I couldn't really do that. I was there for the whole event.
I
You
didn't
did a
really
good job,
realize.
though.
People don't realize that either. The production is such a pain in the butt because I was like, I'll cast and I'll do the production as well, but that's actually really hard because
Yeah.
you're trying to like move through scenes and like pull up streams and take care of chat and like make sure audio is working and also talk about these songs and these players and coordinate interviews. I will not be doing that again. I will have somebody else do the production and I will cast if I want.
Tournaments are really hard. I actually took part in a lot of smaller tournaments, which were my inspiration to not take part in SSSS.
Thank you.
You're like, absolutely not. I do not want to do this. Yeah, it's a lot. And I had never done it before either, right? Was this your first time, Williams, organizing something like that?
Oh yeah, it was definitely out of my comfort zone to be responsible for so much and so many people. I've participated in a tournament before, and like I helped out with the Cube community tournament, but I definitely never took the lead. So when I was thrust into that position, I was really nervous, but I'm like, you know what, this is my life now. I'm just gonna give it my best shot. It turned out really well. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that I could have improved on, and we'll be taking note of that. But I don't regret it. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good experience, and I hope to be doing more of it.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you guys do more because I think that that's a huge part of growing community is competition. So definitely for sure, and I appreciate all of the hard work that goes into it. Not only that, but the golden ticket competition was another huge thing. It was a little bit longer ago in the history, but that was a huge event.
Yeah,
that was
sometimes I
huge.
forget about that. Yeah.
I forgot too. I was pretty hands off for that tournament.
I can't forget about that one.
So Assistant had a lot to do
Yeah.
with that.
Mm.
Clouder, what about you?
Well,
I didn't do anything in it.
didn't really have much to do in it. I had a lot to do in the aftermath.
What do you mean by that? What aftermath?
The logistics of giving away the prizes was way more than was anticipated.
Yeah. Pro tip:
Yeah.
do not promise physical prizes.
Yeah,
And
just don't.
do not act as the middleman for sponsors to give out those prizes. We're just students and a bunch of nerds that like video games. We don't don't sign up for that kind of thing. Like, let the sponsors send physical products by themselves, or
Yeah.
do like Steam gift cards or something.
Yeah,
Don't
I think
handle
just
physical prizes.
sending money seems to work out better.
That's what I did. Just PayPal it, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like I don't want to deal with. I need an adult. I can't get you an Oculus. I've thought about that. Like I really want to give out, VR and stuff, but I don't want to have to ship an Oculus to Singapore and then it's $478 to get it through customs or whatever.
Or
If you
just
do something like
buy
hearing
your own
back from
Quest.
sponsors.
I almost had to do that with Taichi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah, I
want
heard
the
about
Quest?
that. Mm-hmm.
Luckily, he was okay with just getting the money.
And then buying it. I saw that. Like you guys had to send him the money, and then he purchased it himself. But he did use it. Like he posted it on Twitter, like his receipt of purchasing it.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to Umbra for the 100K contest. 'Cause
Oh,
he
Umbra was
basically,
the biggest part of that.
Yeah.
yeah, he did basically all of it except for like the final reward stream thing.
Yeah.
So
The reward stream, I think that was your production, right, Megalon?
yeah, Lil Pants and I set that up.
Right.
Shout out to Lil
It's
Pants for that.
kind of what inspired the BSMG podcast, because we're like, oh wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
But Umbra did a huge job. Like, I think Elliot brought up the idea, and Umbra's like, I can make something happen. And so he did the whole thing with the fireworks, the math. The math was the big part. Like, he did some complex stuff that went over my head, but
Yeah, it was really cool. Are you guys ever gonna do anything like that again? Because it was
No
huge.
comment.
It was so huge.
no comments.
It was a huge
nothing of
event.
that scale planned right now.
Wait, say that again.
Unfortunately, yeah. There's nothing
of
of that scale
the
planned.
scale the 100K contest went, because I'm pretty sure that was one of, if not the biggest, like VR related giveaway events.
Oh,
like
it
that.
had to have been. And it was just like, you start it without kind of realizing what you're getting into, and then before you know, you're just like, oops. And like, none of us really, like, we are not qualified to be dealing with something of that magnitude. But it was so cool. It was such a blast, and literally, like, the whole like Beat Saber community was doing it. Poor Joel. So it was such an awesome like community building thing. Yeah.
I
Joseph
forgot,
is
Joseph
amazing.
came out of that event
Yeah, it gave us
Born
Joseph.
in the flames of his loss.
How many attempts?
1,337 plays.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Did he go
God.
into 1337?
Exactly 1,337.
Perfect.
That's way too perfect, but okay.
What a treasure.
It's stuff like that makes me wonder if we're in a simulation. This is something I talk about very frequently. It seems recently. Yeah.
Hold on. How are we getting
That's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, we have no time for that. So yeah, that was really cool. If you guys ever do anything like that again, that would be awesome. So there's that. Then there's some other things that you guys like kind of have associated with you that are just like off, tentacles. Like this podcast is associated with BSMG. I always do this. Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
.com is Elliot's kind of baby, and there's the review and the curators are all there, which is kind of where the mapping, the mapper role and the curator role come into play on the BSMG Discord. So that's from
the mapper role actually doesn't have too much to do with
Beat that.
Saber. The mapper role was a project that started really early on, and we tweaked it as time passed. And then we kind of, Red Magi is kind of king of the green names right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of Red Magi, but he is like the king of test plays. I want to say he revolutionized the way that test plays and feedback was given in the Discord, both in the modding Discord and the mapping Discord. So I found Red Magi. I'm like, hey, do you want to be the one that goes through the applications? Because how you get the green name is you submit an application,
Which is
with
what I was
three-
actually gonna ask. So let me just say this really quick in case anybody's listening and doesn't know what we're talking about. In BSMG Discord, there is a mapper role, and he is talking about how you get that, the process of that, and what that means in that Discord. Because I know some people are interested in how to get the mapper role. So you fill out an application and you send it to Red Magi.
There's an application pinned in the wiki, pinned
Gotcha.
in the channel, and also listed on the wiki.
Cool. All right. So sorry to interrupt, but keep going.
No, it's okay. I see in chat that Red Magi has approximately 1,800 test plays, which is really incredible.
How?
Yikes.
I don't know. It's mind-boggling, like how he plays every map and gives detailed feedback. But anyways, the mapper role, they kind of, get their own say into like Beat Saber, the repository of songs, which we also manage. I think Assistant is the one heading Beat Saber. The maintenance of it anyway. Lolpants made Beat Saber, but Assistant is the one like maintaining it and hosting it.
Well, Balsa made Beat Saber.
Okay, Balsa made Beat Saber 1.
And Lopent made the remake of it.
Well, no, we forgot about what's his face? Bjorn. Bjorn made Beat Saber 2, and this is technically Beat Saber 3.
Yeah.
Beat Saber 2. Did Beat Saber 2 ever go live?
Beat Saber 2
Yeah.
was the one that had
Laravel.
Laravel.
Oh,
Beat
right.
Saber Laravel was Beat Saber 2.
I completely forgot about the first version. Never mind.
I can't believe you forgot Balsa.
It's been so long. I just forgot what it was like.
But yeah,
This is the third X pack. There's a lot of lore at this point, so
there's a lot of history and projects. I don't think B Saber, like Elliot's project, has changed too much over time, but Beat Saber, the site that everybody downloads their maps from, that has gone through a lot of changes over time. Model Saber has gone through a lot of changes over time, and that's the repository for like.
It hasn't really. It's about to go
It's
through
about
big
to.
changes.
I'm
But
jumping the gun. It's about to, and soon TM. I'm not sure how much you want to say about that, so I'm just gonna say soon TM.
yeah. How much do you want to say about that?
well, basically, I wanted to add notes to it and fix a couple things, but Logix came around and was like, "I'm just gonna rewrite it entirely," and I was like, "Okay,
Okay, yours now.
yeah, basically."
Yeah. So
Poor
the
guy.
repository for all the Sabers, platforms, avatars, and soon-to-be notes is about to be redone. There's going to be a lot of new features on that one. That one's shaping up to be a really cool project.
I'm excited.
I went on a tangent. What was I originally talking about?
Well, no, that's actually what we're talking about is kind of all of the other things that are involved in BSMG. So tournaments, the golden ticket competition, BeatSaber.com, what you were also saying, which is Beat Saber. They're also close. It's very hard to talk about them in like a list format.
Originally,
We're very
it was
good at names.
super cool. Yeah, originally it was really cool. Like, what kind of cool Beat Saber pun can we make this time? And I still think Balsa won the competition with Beat Saber, like beat and saving. But then as time went on, we have Beat Saber, we have Mod Saber, we have Beat Mods, we have Model Saber, we have Beast Saber. There's too much. Score Saber.
I'll be honest. I'm just waiting for someone to make a service for Beat Saber that doesn't have the word beat or saber in it, please.
BloqTalk.
I BloqTalk.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Smile. I made this.
Yeah, no, that's true. We're good. We did it! Yay! We're free.
And at the end of the show, we'll do like a little question segment, by the way, Rao, where you get to ask them kind of whatever you want to ask them. So yeah, this is all the like kind of side projects or the extensions of BSMG. There's the modding, but then there's also all this other stuff. Beat Saber is a really big part of Beat Saber, and that's another thing that you guys are involved in. Lots of traffic there. That is where all of the songs go that people download.
Oh, I also forgot about. I tend to forget about them a lot, not on purpose, just because I don't have one. But the whole quest side of modding Beat Saber now is an area that we've had to add recently because the population of users with a quest is increasing, and it's only going to get bigger, and it's a lot different from PC modding.
What makes it different? Like, what do you mean?
Quite literally everything. Making them is a lot different. Kyle probably has a better way of explaining it because I have no idea what they do.
No one here really quest mods.
Yeah,
It scares me.
Quest mods are scary.
It's scary.
Like, they're way different.
But
like,
fun.
Yeah, it's just
Quest
made in a
mods
completely
are-
different way.
They're big boy mods.
They're big boy mods, yeah. Compared to PC mods. Even the sabers, like a custom saber is an entirely different mod that you load into a different program. They have different installers. The way that they model is different, which, you know, we had to sort out a big political situation between... we also handle, like, a lot of politics in the community, like what mappers can do, what goes on Beat Saber, and then the models too, like the PC models and porting them to Quest, whether you need permission from the original creator or the original files, the way you're allowed to port them, what people are able to label them as. There's a ton of stuff going on in the background, and I don't want to call it politics, but it really is like that.
You already called it politics twice.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm trying to think of a better word as I speak, but really it is
Semantics? I don't know. That's kind
Oh,
of the
it's
same thing.
balancing the interests of a lot of different people.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's, you know, like the original PC artists had different intentions, and the
Logistics, that's a good one, yeah.
logistics to the rights to the model, licenses, that kind of stuff.
Lots of scary stuff.
Lots of scary stuff that we didn't expect, but we kind of have to handle. But yeah. The quest side of modding has taken off, and it's like I can't really talk about how good it is, but Assistant, you have a quest.
It's very good, surprisingly good for how early it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think that tracking is really, really good on it. I mean, now I have an index, so it's like nothing compares to that. But unless you're like reaching pretty far behind you, tracking is pretty good on the Quest. I like it a lot. I think it's also really comfortable. Like the headset's actually super comfy. Yeah,
I
Kyle
can't even
saying,
say anything about Index.
have you gotten it yet?
I have to send it back.
Wait, what? Why?
It has issues, and I have to send it back now and wait for another one. So.
no, that
That's
sucks.
lucky.
D.
Feels bad. I got it literally like 2 days ago.
Ah.
So, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I actually have to head out.
Oh, that's right. You did let me know that you had to leave a little bit early, so that is
Yeah.
Megalon.
All right,
Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
Fritz,
We're gonna
Megalon's about
keep
to head
talking
out.
for a little bit here, but we will say goodbye to Megalon and say thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was awesome meeting you at AX.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for talking
It's
to
been
us.
fun.
Say bye to him, chat. Chat is...
Chat is sad.
These guys will
Okay.
keep you occupied. Don't worry, everybody here knows everything that I do. I think.
I will chat for a little bit. Yeah, but nobody has the voice.
React, just become
Megalon's
Megalon.
voice,
You can do it.
honestly.
I can't. I don't have your voice. It's magic.
I remember hearing Megalon's voice in real life for the first time, and I instantly, like, I heard him behind me, and I turned around, and I'm like, that's Megalon.
That's him. He's right there.
He's got the hat.
Alright, bye everybody, it's been fun.
Bye. See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Thanks for
Good
hanging
stream.
out.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Every time I met anybody, it was just like stream. I just screamed their name out loud, and then I hugged them, and then I ran away. Smile. It was.
Sounds about right.
It worked really well. For me.
I recognized you right away because, I mean, pink hair, kind of
Yeah.
obvious. But everybody else I met, they would be like, people would be like, guess who this guy is? I'm staring at them like, I only know you through your voice.
Yeah.
You're not talking. How am I supposed to know who you are?
I only know you through your avatar. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, like your avatar or your voice. And you're doing, I have neither of these things right now.
You didn't recognize me from my voice either, though.
Okay, I actually
Wow.
kind of knew what you looked like. You looked different. I was expecting like a different hairstyle. You showed up with like a Jesus haircut.
A Jesus haircut.
Yeah, like your hair was way longer than I expected.
You look different from the pictures I saw of you back in the day.
Yeah, the pictures you've seen are kind of old.
They're very old.
Yeah, Ion, I have pink and purple hair like my emotes, so I'm really easy to spot in a crowd. And there was a lot of us there. Assistant was there, I was there, Williams was there, Hammer was there, B was there, Cooling. Hi Kate, how are you? Cooling Quasit.
Can I have some
Cooling
juice?
was the only one that looked like how he imagined. Yeah, that's basically it. I had a mental
was there.
image. Like, you know how you don't, when, like, before you see somebody's actual face, you kind of put their name to, like, a face, even if it's imaginary.
Or an avatar from VRC.
Or an avatar, but yeah. I tried to, like, guess what people would look like. Cooling was basically spot on. Everybody else kind of surprised me, but then they started talking. I'm like, oh, I know who you are.
Squonky was spot on, in my opinion.
Squank was not spot on. I saw him walking down the street to greet Megalon, and Megalon recognized him because he was wearing the Squank shirt, one of Clouder's drawings, and it was just like right on his chest. But I missed that. I just looked at his face. I'm like, who's this goober walking up to us, and why does Megalon know him? and then I looked at him like, oh, that's Squeak.
That's what I thought when I first saw him too.
Who's this goober?
He like walked out of his house and he looked so awkward, but it was kind of adorable.
I don't know, I thought he looked exactly like the mental image I had.
He looks like that Asian kid that spends too much time at the racing machine at the arcade.
And
That-
is that
that is
not
very
the
accurate.
mental image you get from Squeaksies?
That wasn't the mental because Squeaks hates racing games. That's why I didn't make that image. But then I saw him. I'm like, you look. And then we went to round one. I'm like, do you want to play the racing game? I hate racing games. Like, you don't. You look like you would love this game, but okay.
You guys are making me wish I went to AX.
I know, I'm
think
so
we
sorry. It
played a
was so
racing
much
game.
fun.
There will be
Imagine
other
going to
opportunities.
AX.
Next
You
year.
better go to next year.
Next
I
year,
will.
I'm going to be hosting a house. I'm sure there will be another house. We are absolutely going. Somebody just gave 10 gift subs.
I'm saving
Ion.
up for next year.
I probably still won't be able to go.
No, you gotta start saving now.
I wish it was that easy.
It was so much work. It was so much work, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. I had to become not poor. Correct. I was like, who's the Chad? Faith? From our house? Yeah, Faith is in chat, was there. What was also really interesting was like, I was seeing a lot of people that I had seen at TwitchCon the year before. So like I had hung out with Golfu a lot, for example, and Hammer a lot. You know, like I knew them already. And I was seeing them again, and that was like really cool. Cause like, man, I've known you a really long time. Like you're like, we're real friends now. Smile.
One thing that got me hanging out with people in real life was, I guess, because relating back to what you said earlier about VR being like a closer community, when you interact with people in VR, they're very much the same person as they are in real life. So even though I met like 20-something people and I'm staying in a house with them for the first time in my life, I felt like I already knew them, or at least a good chunk of them, just because of the time I've spent in VR with them.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see their mannerisms and stuff as well in virtual reality, which is just something that doesn't happen in traditional PC games. You don't see the way that somebody moves their hand, or if they take squats when they want to take a shot, or if they move around a lot, or if they lay down mostly, or if they're really, quiet and never speak, or kind of still. You see all that stuff.
There's an oddly specific one in there.
or if they fall asleep in a chair.
Oh my god, I love hentai so much.
Did you guys have you guys heard the story about me meeting hentai So I met hentai the first night that I was there, and so our house took turns of people like having tragedies, and the first night was my night. And so I had a time because I'd been planning this for months and I was very stressed out. And so I met hentai and I was very excited to meet him, and I yelled hentai and I hugged him, and then the next day he was at Anime Expo and I didn't recognize him, and I was like, hey, who are you? Because he was with Tammy, and I was like, are you with our group? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, hentai. And I did the same thing. I was hentai. I was really excited, and I hugged him. And he's like, yeah, I was wondering if you were going to remember meeting me last night. I was like, absolutely do not remember you at all. And he kind of, he's a very, you know hentai once you meet him, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll understand if you meet him in real life. He's a very special individual.
Yeah.
Who the F?
Who the fuck is bald as fuck? we were there's so many. I have so many stories from Anime Expo, and half of them involve hen.
Hentai?
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, he was.
I also love
was
hentai.
The first person I met actually, getting out of the airport, and I saw him. I didn't realize he had a hat on, so I didn't realize he was bald. But we got to the house, and it was the like what came out of that. Just Hen as a person. He's such a wonderful person, and I love him so much.
It was nuts, like seeing people, like, I don't know, like my house was just same. I have so many stories, and it's like I couldn't have asked for like a better group of people. And like, yeah, we like meme and we shit post, and like we're degenerates in VRC, but like everybody took care of everybody. I made it to my bed every single night. I woke up every morning and I was like, Hail Mary, I'm here. Like, I did it again. I was so proud of myself. Everybody looked out for each other. I didn't die.
Nobody died.
Nobody died. So, we tried our best, but yeah, it was so much fun. So hopefully we did it again next year. I'm actually going to, if any of you guys live near Atlanta, Georgia, I'm going to Dragon Con. I'm doing a gaming house in Dragon Con at the end of August. And then, yeah. And it's like semi-sponsored, so the housing is like really cheap. It's like $20 a night or something. And then also Oculus Connect is September, and then TwitchCon. For those of you who are going, I am doing a house at TwitchCon. So and nobody was arrested. True. Did anybody get arrested? Nobody got arrested, right?
Nobody got arrested.
Surprisingly, no.
We
tried really hard.
Questionable things, and we were always like, for the purposes of the as of right now, you are legally 21 years of age. But like noise was actually one of the things that I thought would get us, but everybody was kind of well behaved. I mean, some people like
Unbelievable.
Well, like nobody actually. I had to kind of be like a dad a few times and make sure people were okay, but people were actually a lot better behaved than I anticipated.
Well, we're not loud. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're used to drinking in VR in our bedrooms. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. It's not like we
That's
go.
true.
So it's we weren't
That's very-
loud, which I was really glad about. Just a little loud. Yeah, there was one night that I was actually up till like midnight because I usually fall asleep really early. And I was like, it's so loud. Like, we really need to tell people to be quiet. And Hera was like, nah, we've been like this every night till much later. Like, you've just been asleep and you've slept through it. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, no cops were ever called. Nobody got arrested. Everybody survived. Everybody made it home. It took Rog like 50 hours to get home, but he did make it home.
Rog was. I remember seeing pictures of him. Like, you're still flying.
Yeah, his, like, His first flight got delayed because they didn't have a pilot, and then that caused him to miss his next flight. And then it was nightmarish. It took him like 50 hours.
Like, I thought Kenny's flight was bad, but Rog was definitely another level.
It wasn't lame, Bobby. Like, we tried to have all of those things happen,
No,
but
it
we can't talk about it on stream, but it was...
Yeah,
there was no lack of trying.
There was, oh my. That was a good night. But, anyways, we can talk about that off stream.
Yeah. And it affected me tremendously. I've been talking about this a lot on stream. Like, I like can't get into VRC, and like, I don't know. I've just had a lot of feelings since I left, because like prior to this community, like I just didn't have anything like this before, and then Beat Saber and VR and all of that has just changed things for me. Like, this, just really the last year has been just tremendous for me. All thanks to Beat Saber, which is kind of my next question. How has Beat Saber and working with BSMG affected your real life? What have you learned from it IRL wise? Any transferable skills?
Who goes first?
Let's start with assistant.
We start with assistant.
Yeah.
Well, it's BSMG has kind of been like a life changer for me. It's made dealing with a lot of the stuff life throws at you, not gonna say easier, but giving me strength to deal with it.
That's awesome. That's actually really cool. I mean, it's the same for me. Like, I remember moving here from Vancouver, and that was kind of like 3 months after I'd started streaming, and I had just started like building the community and like messaging everybody on Discord, and like never having that prior. Like, I had my small group of friends, but I mean, like, I remember playing Divinity and having to control 2 characters because I didn't have 3 people to play with. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Like, I had a very small group of people that I played games with, and now it's just like my whole life is so completely different. What about you, Klouder? What has BSMG taught you?
Honestly, I don't really want to talk about that, sorry.
Aw. That's okay. What about how has it affected your real life? Any positive changes? Have you learned to talk to people better? Support?
I mean, not really.
I think you probably have, and you just maybe don't realize it. Like, it's kind of difficult to see how something is affecting your life if you have it, but you don't know what it's like to not have it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have no idea how I would be at talking to people without working retail my whole life.
Oh, I can agree with you there.
You know what I mean? Like, I know it affects it and it helps me, but it's hard to know how, but I know that that it does.
I just don't talk to people in real life. I never really did.
I think that this I would think that this is like real life. I would think that this counts, because like it's voice, it's podcast, it's real time. You know what I mean? You suck at talking to people and you work at retail. Yeah. Is this fake life?
All of this is simulation.
I think about that all the time, dude. All the time.
No, not now, not now.
Can we just have an
React, why don't
episode
you
on
go?
this? Yeah, go ahead, React.
What?
Answer
Oh,
the question.
how did he no, don't talk about the simulation thing. But how is working on BSMG? Like, how is it translated to you in the real world? Like, what has it affected for you?
It's helped with drive a bit. Like, right before Beat Saber modding happened, I was going through tons of burnout. For I think it was, I hadn't worked on anything productive for at least 6 to 7 months, I think, before. And it kind of put me back on my feet, and then I ended up making tons of mods and that will never be updated for the game. And it's also helped a lot with being able to manage things a bit. Even if it hasn't shown with BSMG, it has helped me learn how to do certain things with managing projects and keeping things in order. And it's also helped with social skills a bit, funny enough. It's given me a lot of opportunities that are important to me as well that I will never forget. It's really helped.
Not even just like you interacting with people, but like just getting to watch 200,000 people interact and like get help and troubleshoot together is invaluable, right? Like it's so interesting to watch people exist.
One big thing for me was during the Summer Savers SARS tournament, although I didn't have a big role at all in it, I did very little, and I'm not going to take any credit for it. Watching how everything was ran and managed and how everything was coordinated helps a lot with knowing how everything goes and how to run something properly.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's invaluable information and experience, and just like it's definitely translatable. And every time, like the first house that I organized was the TwitchCon house last year, and I learned so much there. And then doing the Anime Expo house, I learned so much. I wish I had done so much different. And I'm going to translate all that to the San Diego house for TwitchCon, because I'm doing a TwitchCon house. If anybody needs a place to stay at TwitchCon, please send me a message, smile. But it's all it goes to the next place, and it's stuff that people don't even think about, project management, like you were saying, social skills, organizational planning, watching how people interact with each other, delegation, things like that. It's been nuts. What about you, Steven? How has working with BSMG and organizing a community of 200,000 people affected you IRL?
I don't really know how it's like affected me or taught me anything in real life, but like before BSMG, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends, I guess. I was kind of just drifted in and out of friend groups and stuff and didn't really have anything like solid. So now I don't want to say 200,000 friends, but I have quite a few now, and it's nice.
You're part of a large tribe.
That's large is one way to put it.
200,000 people, it's nuts.
I don't know if that word really connotates for it.
That is 1/5 of a million people.
It's nuts, right? Like 200,000 people.
It's a bit
And
different
I can
from
ban
like.
them all.
Yeah.
All but like 11 of them.
That's a very scary thing to say.
Not
Yeah,
for you.
it's basically. I mean, it's a very large town that you guys are.
Oh wow, it really is.
Yeah, like it's a large Beat Saber town that you guys have created.
Yeah.
What about you, Williams? What have you learned from being one of the founding fathers of this Beat Saber town, BSMG?
Well, I don't really know the word. In real life, at least, shortly before joining the community, or I guess starting the community, I was coming out of like a rough point in life, kind of like new beginnings. I had to kind of cut myself off from my previous friend group that I've known for all my life. So I was just I've never been part of online communities before. So I figured, you know what, why not step out of my comfort zone, send my first message in the Discord, and things picked up from there. Now, over a year later, I've learned so much. I've made so many friends. I've met people that inspired me to work harder, like really intelligent people, really charismatic people. I've come to know so many amazing people that do so many amazing things, and it makes me want to make myself better. I've stepped out of my comfort zone countless times. I was really closed off, afraid of doing things on the internet even. Like, I was super introverted. I gave streaming a try. I loved it. I ended up becoming a project manager, and it taught me a lot of useful skills about networking, about managing different people and representing the interests of many groups. And it's changed my life in so many ways. Taken up a lot of time, obviously, but I don't regret any of it.
I mean, it's such a great way to like pass the time as well. I talk about that all the time with people. It's like they get addicted to Beat Saber and the community, but I mean, what better thing can you be addicted to? Because it's so supportive and people are so great to each other, and they like all the same stuff I like, and you're also really active when you're playing Beat Saber, so it's awesome.
It's, like, a lot of us in staff we'll make jokes about, well, half joking about how burnt out or exhausted or jaded we are about the community, but at least speaking for myself, like, it is fulfilling. It's changed my life. It's constantly changing my life, and I'm always happy to give back and help out with anything, basically.
Agreed. And we've already been talking for like 2 hours, but I will see if chat has anything that they want to ask you guys. We like to open up at the end of the evening questions from you guys. If you have any questions for the BSMG staff, we're here with Assistant and Klouder and Reaxt and Steven and Williams. We had Megalon here earlier, and Klouder will take over for me here and take your questions. Maybe.
First thing we got going is staff going to TwitchCon.
No.
I don't think anyone here is.
Sadly not.
I don't even know when TwitchCon is.
I'm pretty sure everyone here is
September 26th and the 27th.
I think TwitchCon is kind of an opportunity for people to meet their favorite streamers and like meet up with a bunch of friends. Sadly, I am completely broke after Anime Expo, and I mean, the streamers I watch were my friends at Anime Expo, so it's gonna be a while before I go into another event like that.
Did you guys talk about Score Saber today? Score Saber is Umbra's area, and he's not here, so there's really not much to say about it, to be honest.
I'd love to talk to him about it, though.
Score Saber is one of the things that honestly has kind of branched away and is a separate thing from BSMG now.
It's still very much like part of BSMG, but it is also its own entity, and a lot of projects are shaping out that way, and it's really cool to see how the community expand like that.
Anyone know anything about variable no jump speed? Nope.
That's not the question.
I know a little bit.
Maybe.
I know that
I know
a
what they
few people
mean.
have looked at it, and the people have looked at it have said no.
An agonizing no.
They've said it's possible, but no.
No.
I mean,
I'll
just
say it
look
is
at
possible
Gameplay
and it does
Modifiers
work.
Plus. That randomizes it. Do you think that's fun?
It's possible and it works.
Wouldn't say
Yeah,
it works
it is
well, though.
possible. It does
It,
not
it,
work
it
well.
can work well.
No.
No.
I'm down with having modders, as well as Barbie, on BloqTalk. We've had a couple of modders before. I've talked to Klouder about having Kyle on. I'd like that. Smile. But yeah,
Kyle, come on,
Kyle.
Curb.
We need.
I know you're in
Kaden
chat.
I can just hear.
Kyle, BloqTalk.
All I have to do is get him in my room.
Yeah, just
Get Kyle
whack
in
him
here.
with a
on.
pillow.
Right now.
Just bribe him with
Go.
snacks.
Drag Kyle.
I don't have any snacks.
For those that don't
anymore.
know, they're siblings, and Klouder can go beat them up.
True.
Oh no.
and then if you guys know any other mods, or if you are a mod and are interested in coming on, let me know. Hey, Zoro. Or a mapper.
Frank is best mod. I love Frank.
Frank.
Good mod.
I love Frank. Frank.
Frank, Reaxt, do not keep up with the mods.
Frank.dll.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't know it.
I was about to say it. You don't
Fun
know.
fact, React.
You have no idea what we're talking about.
I have
React
zero
never
clue.
knows what we're talking about.
I'm sorry. It's not my
That's
fault.
kind of his thing.
That's React's thing. Hey,
but hey,
what's happening?
He's late.
What
he
happened?
was on, he was on time today.
What's going on?
You should just know this is your community. You
What
own
is
the
so-and-so?
server.
I don't have time to read everything.
You own all of us.
Okay, not technically, but
You own.
technically, yes.
That's what the contract deadline said.
Remember when I
And
almost
Gecko.
bought BSMG?
We do have
Yes, I do.
we've had a lot of mappers on. There's some. I'm uploading all of the episodes onto the YouTube. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying one time I almost bought the server.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
almost bribed me.
I offered a picture of Megalon.
It almost happened.
Can I buy that picture?
wait,
No,
I have a
you don't have
picture.
anything.
No.
You don't have anything of high enough value. I'm sorry.
I have
I'm,
pictures.
I'm
of
talking
Megalon.
to assistant.
Oh, Williams.
Well, you see,
Hey, you want
the
the
cell
server?
the cell
I
was under
absolutely
the
do.
assumption that Megalon was okay with it, and he was not.
Aw.
But what if I asked him?
I mean,
So just give Megalon the money.
Give Megalon his server back.
But I want to give assistant.
Give
some
Megalon
money.
his free nitro.
Yeah, and his hoodie. Give him his hoodie.
I should have
Honestly,
honestly,
if you did give me the server, one of two things would have happened. Either I gave it to Megalon, or I yeeted it.
Okay, I'm never giving you the
Coin
server
flip
now
for
because
which one?
I'll give it to Megalon first. I'll just skip the middleman.
Jesus.
That got off
Have
topic.
replays impacted
So I think
your
Ashley had a
gameplay?
question for us.
No, I was just listening. Klouder does the questions, and I was just listening to you guys talk. They're listening to you. There was one question that was, how have the replays impacted your gameplay? But I'm
Impacted your gameplay.
not sure what they meant. What did you mean by that?
I'm
think they
guessing
meant
it means
Score
Score
Saber
Saber
replay.
replays.
I don't play the game enough to really use them.
I kind of forgot that there were replays. I used them a bit at the beginning, but I've just, I should probably go back and try to learn from my own replays.
Yeah, I was talking with Fern the other day, and like he was, because people are like, "Hey, Fern, coach me," and he was saying like, "I watch my stuff a lot." He basically watches his own gameplay and watches other gameplay to learn what he's doing wrong and what he needs to improve on. So
That's a good tip for like basically any game. Record your own
Yeah.
gameplay
Mhm.
and see
Watch
what you're
yourself.
doing, see what you can improve on.
And I
yes, my
love
favorite color is blue.
when people come onto the stream and they're like, this hand's going, you speed up halfway through that stream, or your left hand's missing this, or you're not swinging. Like when they tell me exactly what I'm doing incorrectly, like I love that so much. Like, please.
Your chat is so
tell
nice
me.
to you. All my chat says is William Gay, and I can't believe William sucks.
William Gay.
William Gay.
Hey,
This is-
they do it in a loving way.
This is actually
Yeah,
something
we
I
do it
talk
because we
about
love you.
all the time. I go to other people's chats, and like I'll go to Atomic's chat, for example, and they're so toxic. It's just
God.
like spam garbage. They're so mean.
Okay, Atomic
People-
is a special person.
That's Atomic.
That's-
That's his shtick.
You go to
Atomic
then
is
there's
a very
Fifi's.
special individual.
My chat's
love him
really
so
cute.
much.
They're so nice to me. Clouder's chat's really nice. You go to Atomic's chat, they're so toxic. It's so
That's
funny.
true.
There's
Atomic
two
chat is
people in
something.
the Beat Saber community. And toxic.
William.
That's it. Yeah.
We're all
Maybe-
weebs.
Maybe if you didn't ignore requests, people would be nicer to you, William.
Look,
Oh goodness.
listen here. Okay. Anyways,
And forfeit.
Fifi is. Oh yeah, wait. I need to say Fifi is cute on stream.
True.
Yes, Fifi's cute.
very cute.
Any truers?
Any. Okay.
The AX memes.
Oh, can I ask this one since it's to you? At Klouder, will there ever be a Clouder than Steel cover?
Soon. Uninstaller made something and sent it to Electro, so
Oh.
It's happening?
I didn't full on cover it. That's what Electro got some stuff and put something together.
It's happening. It's all happening.
It's happening.
It's happening now.
Happening.
Excite.
Much
You heard it
excited.
here first. Alright,
Yeah,
we've
we'll
been
do,
talking for
Yeah.
2 hours, you
hours.
guys. Easy peasy. I like to close
Yeah,
up with one question before we go, so I will ask that. We'll close off the chat questions. Hey, you guys should rank Clouder than Steel. I agree.
It'd be cool if we got
Yes.
I'll grind that one.
So I just like to ask this, and then we'll close up and find somebody to raid. And but if you had to give one piece, if you could only give one piece of advice to somebody who was interested in getting more involved in the community, doing something like what you guys are doing here with BSMG, what would that piece of advice be? We'll start with you, assistant.
Well, make sure that
Assistant?
Did he just like leave?
No.
Make sure that.
I think I died for a second.
Yeah, all we heard
Okay.
was make sure that, and then you were gone. Make sure
Make
that what?
sure that it's ominous.
That's very ominous.
Make sure that you take care of yourself because it will drive you insane.
Oh yeah,
Get help.
self-care.
Take care of yourself. That's so important. I do all of my stuff in the morning when I wake up. Like, I wake up really early. I wake up at like 6. I go to the gym. I come home. Like, I shower. Sometimes I stream early in the morning. Take
Hold
care
on.
of your surroundings. What's up?
You wake up at 6?
I do. I wake up really early.
What?
Ashley is a functioning human being.
What time do you sleep at?
Wow.
Well, okay, so I've been having some struggles lately because AX fucked me up a little bit. And like the other night I went to bed at like 8 p.m. and that was weird, but usually like 11 or midnight.
I strive to sleep before
I-
midnight,
I can't comprehend this.
or 2 a.m., or 4 a.m.
I did not give up food for a GPU. I gave up food for a CPU, but I'm thinking about doing it for a GPU because I really need one. Yeah.
Food or computer
That's
first?
fair.
Williams, you say you try to sleep before 12, but you're basically the reason why my schedule is fucked a lot of the time.
Listen, it wasn't my fault that you were 3 hours ahead of me for like 6 months. That was, well, not your fault either, but that wasn't my fault.
New Clouder star.
New Clouder.
New cloud? Oh, I like this idea.
I'd
That's
play
so
it.
good. I'm sorry.
Oh.
What about you, Clouder?
I'm
If you had to
sorry.
give anybody, stop it.
Never.
Yes to all of these
one
names.
one piece of advice, Clouder, to somebody getting involved in the community. What would you say to them?
Probably just don't be afraid to speak up.
That's a good one. It's hard, right? Like
When it comes
especially
to wanting features, when it comes to wanting issues, I see so many people constantly talk about it, but no one actually tells someone or actually does something about it.
stand up for yourself. If you have opinions or feelings
Yeah.
or thoughts, share them. You can disagree with people. It's okay. Doesn't mean that you're not friends or anything. As long as you do it civilly, I think that that's super important. But uninstaller is actually a genius.
Uninstaller's a cool guy.
Uninstaller, can we actually do this, please?
Oh boy.
Do them all, rank them all, and I take over Score Saber.
Uh-oh.
Easy.
What about you, React? Any? What would be your one piece of advice?
One piece of advice would be if you want to do something and you think, I don't know how, just try it. Like, do whatever you think might work. And then look it up and ask people questions as you go on. And you'll figure out how to do whatever it is that you want to try and make, or whatever you want to run, or whatever you want to do for the community or the game.
Yeah,
Or
I agree
anything.
with that. I mean, look at me. I made Mod Assistant and I don't know how to program.
You made Model Saber V1 too.
Yeah,
Really, kind of just like
I
throw
ju-
yourself at the wall.
Yeah, just
it was basically just a lot of looking stuff up and making it happen.
try. If you don't know how to do something, just go do it, and don't get so caught up on, oh my god, I don't know what I don't know. Just figure it out as you go along.
This is actually a recurring thing that we talk about pretty frequently here. It's just doing it, fake it till you make it. Learning as you go. We have so many resources and there's so many people out there that can help you. And then also passing that on. Like if somebody helps you with something, then help somebody else with it. Just keep passing the information on. What about you, Steven? One piece of advice.
I feel like we're kind of all saying kind of the same thing, but just be the change that you want to see. Like, if you think something should be different or it could be better, don't just complain about it or ask someone else to do it. Just try and do it yourself. 'Cause odds are you can at least get someone else started.
Yep, I agree. I think that, it sounds like we're saying the exact same stuff, but it's a little different and everybody's saying it from like a different place. You know what I mean? Which I think is importante. What about you, Williams? Our last answer. One piece of advice to pass on.
If I had to say one thing, I would just say, whenever you're afraid of doing something, just say fuck it a lot more. Your life will be a lot more fun if you do it that way. If you're always afraid, oh, you know, I'm too scared to do this, or I've never done that before, or that's out of my comfort zone, just say fuck it. What's the worst that could go wrong? I said that about, you know, sending my first message in Discord. I mentioned it earlier, but me sending my first message like at, oh yeah, funny story. My first message was actually at Squeaksies. I like your map.
Oh my goodness, this is your fault.
That was actually my first message in the Discord.
This is all your fault.
But it is all my fault.
You were lucky that Squeaksies wasn't dead inside.
If it was Squeaksies today, he would have flipped me off, and I probably would have been scared and never talked to anybody on the internet ever again. A lot of times you just get lucky. But just literally just don't be afraid to try something different. Step out of your comfort zone. Try streaming, try making new friends, you try asking that girl out, go make that thing, apply for a job, whatever. Life is really boring when you're too afraid to do everything.
Very
That's really
true.
all I have to say.
Very important.
Very good advice for everything.
Very good advice. Life is boring when you are too afraid to live it, for sure. 100%. And that is a very good place to close. So with that, I will say thank you guys for hanging out with us. BloqTalk episode 10, BSMG staff. We will let chat say goodbye to you guys, and then I'll talk to chat for a little bit. Did you guys have fun? Did you enjoy it? 2 hours, easy peasy?
2 hours.
Is that to us,
I'm tired.
Yeah, that's to you guys.
Sorry.
It was really fun.
Yeah,
It was
a lot of
I
fun.
enjoyed it. I want to apologize for my dad jokes though.
What about your at
No,
everyone? Do
you're
you
not-
want to apologize
I'm
publicly
not
for that?
You're not soft.
You're
You
absolutely
apologize
not
very
apologizing
profusely
for
when
that.
you
I've
did it.
apologized too much.
That,
Listen, Reaxt,
you're not
how do you
forgiven.
fall on your keyboard?
I don't want to talk about it.
Alright, chat, say goodbye to these guys. Say thank you very much for hanging out with us.
Goodbye,
And you guys
chat.
say bye to chat. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, chat.
And then I will mute and deafen them. And it'll just be us. Hi, chat. Did you enjoy that? That was fun, right? They were awesome. You guys are so funny. We had some gift subs. We had some new followers. We're actually getting really close to 2,400 followers. So when I hit 2,400 followers, sorry if this duplicates. Shouldn't. It didn't. When I hit 2,400 followers, I am doing a 24-hour stream. So we're at 22:58. We're doing a 24-hour stream with a bunch of donation and sub goals. So I need, wait, what? Oh, all I saw was Andrew, and I was like, I don't see them here. But yeah, once I hit 24... Oh, wait, did they follow me? Was that Andrew that followed? I messaged them today. Welcome. Oh, yeah, it was. Pog. How are you? So, way back in the day at like 400 followers, I was like, if I hit 2,400 followers, hi, how are you? If I hit 2,400 followers, I will do a 24-hour stream. Not thinking that that would ever happen ever, and we are getting really close. And I need ideas for the like subathon slash donation-a-thon, stream-a-thon 24-hour thing for things that I can do at the breakpoints. So if you have ideas for that, things that I wouldn't like doing, please send me a message. I need them. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to try my best to get into VRC tonight because I haven't done that since Anime Expo and I'm really lonely. And I want to dance, so we'll do that. I really enjoyed talking to these guys. They're so much fun. Who do you guys want to go say hi to? Who's streaming right now? Lalop? Lalop now has VR and is new to VR. So we're going to go say hi to Lalop mapper extraordinaire. See if we can get Lop to come on to BloqTalk and talk about AutoMapper. That'd be really cool, right? Yeah, make sure you follow the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me. Tomorrow I work, so I probably won't be here. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I will. I have no idea. And then Sunday I will be here as well. Next week, don't know who we're hanging out with. I think Putz. All sorts of stuff planned that I gotta tell you guys about. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I love you. Raid, blop. There we go. Getting the robot. I'm the robot. Every Friday, BloqTalk. We go share love with Lape. Thank you so much to BSMG for making this a reality. Get your copy pastas ready. Enjoy your Fridays. Get lots of sleep. Thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Get lots of sleep tonight. Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. Yes. Here we go.